the real difference between amateurs and professionals is their spray paint game. So let's get started. You know, thanks for joining me out here today for my garden party. You're all welcome. First things first, just kill everything in the general vicinity. Also, make sure your box is wet. Make sure it stayed out several days in the rain. That'll make this process a lot simpler. All right, now take a paint that's designed for barbecue grills. Actually, that's no joke. This is actually really good paint for car stuff. Try it out. Stand downwind if possible. That'll make this whole experience nicer for everybody. And then while it's still wet, try to get your fingerprints in it. Perfect. Now that is a job well done. Get it? Because the barbecue grill, it's paint for a... doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter. No project is complete without multiple trips to the same store. And if you're buying one of these, congratulations. You've hit rock bottom. So bear with me. This last step is the most important step of them all. You don't know it yet, but we're gonna see some magic happen. Yeah, that's Taco Bell. Yeah, we're gonna get stuffed. Okay, so unfortunately, we're not gonna actually be able to use the single bachelor pad, one-man brake bleeder system, patent pending. The reason being is I wanna bleed these off the car because these bleeders would sit horizontal up on the bracket. And when they sit horizontal with this whole piston area, it's gonna high spot the air into the top here. So we need to make it so the high spot for the air will be where the air is trying to escape, or in this case, where we're pumping in. We'll get to that in a second. I've taken my favorite pizza box because this is a great way to not completely cover your floor with brake fluid. And I've got her rigged up here. She's got a clamp holding her sideways, so it's fairly straight. This little pump and system is like the single man's brake bleeder year 19,031. Yeah, that's in the future. Okay. It works on the same principle as the single dude's brake bleeder's wife, husband, but it pumps fluid in rather than sucks it out. It doesn't really matter in this case where we're pushing the fluid, but it's super helpful to use one of these when you have a caliper off the car, because if you don't and you're trying to press the pedal, it's going to start moving your caliper out, and then you're going to have to push it back, and nah, this is easier. So hold on, let's get this started. See, this is a prime example of what a coat of paint can do. This looked awful up until an hour and a half ago, but now look at it. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the brake pads into the bracket now. And I'll put it together on the car as one terrible, awful to get to all the bolts unit. I think that's probably best. So remember I talked about service loops? So I really like to have service loops and stuff like this. I got a really long straight line, and all you have to do with braided cable to get it to actually do a service loop is just start twisting her over herself and then you got this little extra bundle like that, and then you can just tuck it up there and make it look all nice. But that's how it's going to work.
Oh, yeah, this was a good idea. It makes total sense to assemble everything beforehand. Because this is awesome. You know what's even more fun than this side? Doing it all over again. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to assemble it beforehand. But it looks good on there, all sideways and not bolted in. Finally, something I'm good at. Oh, cross-threaded, still threaded. Whew. That was radical. Done some fun things because I'm too stubborn to take it back apart and do it a different way, but that was super cool. You guys thought you were going to watch a video about a brake swap. You were actually going to watch a video about some guy dying of old age in front of a camera. You want to make sure you really calculate the Newton foot meter pounds you put on these guys, because that matters. It's not rocket surgery. Again, just give her a couple ugga-duggas. That feels good. Probably do it. And then get your wrench good and stuck, because that's just... And bam! There you have it, folks. Nothing looks better than this. This was totally worth it. Yep, totally worth it. Yep, this was totally worth it. Let me give you the quick tour on this guy now that she's all mounted. Got our brake bracket here, got our disc on here. We've got a nice little service loop. Got everything zip tied. Be sure to cut your zip ties flush, because if you don't do it now, you're gonna wish you did when you cut your hand all up on that later. But make sure she's secured. It goes up into there and somewhere. Something happens over there. But yeah, there you have it. The whole package, whole kitten caboodles. So there you have it. It was easy as all of that BS. Like, don't be fooled. Super fun and super simple. But hey, that's what I needed to see. All that back in there, all that looking good. That makes it all worth it. You guys have a great one.